everywhere in the Tigray region bears testament to the war in Ethiopia. On one side, the government led by Nobel Peace Prize winner Abiy Ahmed and supported by Eritrean forces. On the other, the Tigray People's Liberation Front or TPLF, an organization that ruled this country for nearly 3 decades. The wreckage of war, schools and buildings ripped apart. What is less visible, however, is the human cost. Human rights groups have reported on the hundreds killed in massacres. Videos on social media show executions. We have decided not to show them. Who is doing what is extremely difficult to verify. Each group blames the other. I am one of the first journalists to meet the survivors of the Adrigrat massacre. People who are traumatized and feel abandoned. They want the world to know about the brutal murders of their loved ones.
سراوت إليترا تخبابي بخلت تجعف زريو خبيبو لتنقص عنا ولو كوش تجزانا فتشو ناوش تجزانا أتو أو لصنحهم منسي نعوز عنا ولو نعولو ناوحو نزوتو جامع موصو ناولو خفتال حزبون بوتا جامع مناوصو يوم وريدهم هم ناصرك كاو أما جارشان نزوم ساعات زيادة بصروهم كل خلوهم نعاية تلفوني أو جبايز نور أرشون نزوم ساعات زيادة ممكن ناو غودا زباهل يزومون كيرو غودا زباهل نايبرشوكو فابريكايم أسئنهم لا يتوسعون عاديرو وقعتا ناو عسران سلسل ممكن كم زودو وميو دستا غوري بحال محازايو ناي معزايو بزعت قالوا علوه ادميونا 56 عامت كاو يزاون كاو غوزو توسيدو ترشو سوري كبيديو مغلاصو حبيديو زرو زسبزي محازاي نيرو حاوي امن ورغزو نيرو كمن ورغزو جد ابو شوعت قلعتي أبو شوعت قلعتي أنا اشتي تحت 15 أنا قلعت دحري قلنا انسى له كفت له ولا تنكاخ ولا هلا نقول لا دالو ولا نخفت له هلا وما عدي بكشافة ريوه السير أنا جزاتيو تخطاتي لأتو زايلو قلت تيجي تسحيتو بتاع جزا دخلت تيجي تسحيتو أزلو كلن أنا اشتيس للنورا لو زوانو تحزيلن بخيان القسم تحلت أنا مجرشة قلعة بسخيت تريلو نا إرترا وتدر دفي والتان اشتينا مجرشة تنقالتهم دين كبيبن وبخيان بدحري من قبري خالي سلا قدفن قوت زيه خدلك أي قلعت كي تدنقز لي رخاء يدوريو ناي قطر من نوورو من نمسوي فطيو وشت خنزي ولو خفت برخا خفت جزء من وريو قد جامع خوتيخا يلو بقفعي بقى بطعمي ناي ودس تحساس حسوا يلكا زيتكم متو نا وقعوا نام تحتي خفت قشت بزحت بيتسابينا صدرايو قفعي أو عدوم سريح البلع تحلفت حواي سريح البلع دق قلعتنا اشتيه بطعمي طعمي الحزن طعمي عليني ولا الحزن أنا لو علي دخاية منو ما يبلي بيتسووني لنا الموتات يوم بس جاب بس حتى ودينا هنا في جزا طعمي زقنا لنا جاب دكن أبو سلستني أحد خاب لقرم نجا سلستو أختل فوتلو ودحوا بنا إذا عسلامو
Axum, a 3-hour journey from Adrigrat, a UNESCO World Heritage Site, a sacred place for Orthodox Christians and a tourist destination. Now, human rights groups say hundreds were killed there in a massacre last November. I met one of the people who was able to escape to the region's capital city, Mekelle.
نقول تخصي سمع تخصم سمعايا ترى ناقص أنا يرى قام كابجزا وصقني يرى كتأمل جزا سلزنا وركم منهم ترى قاعد من فسيل يرى نجزيو جينا قاعد أم حواتي حتني أنا وران ساعة نص بتخسان نيرو جينا جبريل ألتي نيرو بتخسان نيران هذا 10 ساعات أنا عدينا أنا نشتحاوين لنا أو جزا نسبة تعمت تجاني أنا نسات سلزي مثلا أو جزا خوينا تجاني أنا نوتي كارلنا أو جزا خوينا نسبين نيران كاود حرر 4 ساعات قاعد أم خوينو أو جزا ينكخه أو جزا كل تعواتينا حنت حتني نيران دقة مالتي كخه خلون اشتحاوي كخفت كله تنكلت أتوامد حنتي حتني بدحرتني رأتو كتب كلا من رأسات وقع عم استوقعتوا من معلومة قوتينا وكنا عليك على نيرنا أوش تخوينا نبكي ملو رسائل توعزي ملو جنكلات هاي توقع من مقبرك على وجزا خوينا نتصبنا نيرنا دبس جرنا سكر دنا مكرنا ما نمسك مسك على كل ساعة ملو أفل بنا دفعنا مكرنا نيرنا نختتنفس كل ساعة حركة ساعات مع جن هو تخعرف كيلو دحريو تايو تفطيرو جنيزنا مسود أنا تنايم جرش سمعتنا نقلتنا نبخنا عندنا دمس يسمعمو تم وتدرات يمس نيرترا وتدرات بحيلين كوا خحوه رنا ياو أبشر خاوون كم زكتي مثلا ولا بإنفورميشن لازم ورنا قتلنا إيميلنا أب تحت عراتاتنا سنة تاريخ سابل على جرنا أنا نحاوينا مالتي تندك نستويش غير من ما يقولن تفايلو تحت عراتاتنا تعرف تحت عراتاتنا وشتي مسيم كفتاتهم تاني اشتن حواتي كفتانهم مساعتو أمس أويل لو تم سوتو تسيا يبلنا سوتي لنا كاو خفتو شو عتيم ريم ما قال نسيتي أنيا بل نغير كاين إذا وصيم كيدو كتام خوين بتنا تاهي وتيم بر أنا حنا نودع نيرنا أقول بيتنا بوزح سواتيم قتيلو كاود حريو سخومينا كبكي كالنا
Aunts, mothers, fathers, brothers, children, civilians killed in cold blood in what appear to be war crimes, mourned by those who witnessed their traumatic deaths. All they are asking for now is for those responsible to be held accountable.
Well, we asked the Ethiopian embassy for their response, and they sent this statement strongly rejecting what they call dangerous allegations of an ongoing campaign of genocide and ethnic cleansing in the Tigray region. They say the Ethiopian government is committed to investigating the allegations, adding no person, including serving soldiers, is above the law. Any serious violations committed against citizens will be thoroughly investigated, and the government will spare no effort in bringing the perpetrators of alleged crimes against humanity and crimes against the state to justice. Well, last week, Jamal reported on the sexual violence against women during the conflict in Tigray. He heard powerful testimony from several victims who said they were raped and tortured by soldiers.
She was raped for 3 days, being locked in a house by one of the soldiers, and she came to us bleeding. What's your family to you? When he realized that she is bleeding, he called another soldier and he ordered him to take her and throw her on the road.
And today, the Ethiopian Prime Minister finally acknowledged that atrocities have been committed in his country.
ሴት በመድፈር ንብረት በመዝረፍ ጥፋቶች እንደተካሄዱ መረጃዎች ያመለክታሉ። ከሀገር መከላከያ ሰራዊት ጋር ሳምንት ነው የገመገምነው። ትናንት እሁድ ነው የጨረስነው። የሀገር መከላከያ ሰራዊት አባል ሆኖ በትግራይ እህቶቻችን ላይ መድፈርን መዝረፍን የፈጸመ ማንኛውም ወታደር በሕግ ይጠየቃል።
Well, let's hear more from Jamal, who's in the newsroom. Jamal.
Yeah, admitting atrocities and rape for the first time is a big change in the government's position. And as the Prime Minister says, his authorities are investigating. But admitting human rights abuses in Tigray is perhaps just a start. Making changes on the ground and putting these abuses to a stop will be a lot harder to achieve, especially when you have various armed groups fighting against the Tigray People's Liberation Front, or TPLF. You have the Ethiopian military and the federal forces, you have the Eritrean troops, and then you have the local Amhara militias. All of them don't take orders from the Prime Minister Abiy. All of them don't have the same objectives. And some are accused of being on a mission of revenge. But still, Prime Minister Abiy needs the support of the Eritreans and the Amhara militias in order to defeat and eliminate the TPLF. And these are the same forces who are mostly accused of committing crimes against the local population. So Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed is in a very difficult position.
Jamal Osman, who made that exclusive journey into Ethiopia. Well, earlier I spoke to Melat Tesfaye from the Tigrayan Youth Network, a campaign group of young people from the region now living in the United Kingdom who are opposed to the current Ethiopian leadership. And I began by asking her whether Prime Minister Abiy's admission that there have been atrocities was a result of international pressure.
I think the pressure that has been put on him has definitely aided in him actually coming out and admitting the truth in front of his entire parliament. I do believe that instead of actually blaming the Eritrean government, I don't think he has blamed the Eritrean government. In fact, he has outwardly thanked them. He has thanked the Eritrean administration for helping him in Tigray. So this whole idea of him even holding a foreign country that has invaded his very own, a part of his own country and has, are not under his watch apparently, has committed these atrocities alongside his own troops, instead of, pointing the finger and saying, okay, this is unacceptable. He has started this whole rhetoric of Eritrean involvement by thanking them. So again, this is just another adding salt to injury again.
What are you hearing from your family, if anything? I believe you haven't really spoken to them since November?
Yeah, well, the capital city, that is the only type of communication that we are getting from Tigray. The other parts of Tigray is a very, it's got many towns and cities and villages across Tigray that are still not connected. People are walking on foot for days on days to get to the capital city, and information is just slowly filtering out from our families from the capital city and then eventually making its way to us. So the information I'm getting is there is major fear. There is a lot of intimidation. These people are not able to speak up in contradiction to what is being said by the Ethiopian administration.
What do you want to happen in terms of international intervention?
Well, I think it's been such a long time. I mean, it might not seem such a long time in terms of, other conflicts that have been happening around the world. But for us, for people who have families there, for us who haven't been able to reach our families, who are witnessing these atrocious videos and graphic videos of killings of, young men and the sexual violence against women. I mean, even today in Parliament, the Prime Minister actually compared the sexual violence against women in Tigray to the conflicts between soldiers or between, he tried to kind of downplay it. And that kind of rhetoric is very dangerous. The fact that he has marginalized the people of Tigray as if it's an us and them situation. I think the international community needs to actually wake up to the rhetoric being used, the narrative being used by the Ethiopian administration, because there is no point in acting once it's too late.
Melat Tesfaye, thank you very much indeed for talking to us.
Thank you for having me.